You know, sometimes legends try to return, but they end up falling even harder. This is that story. It's a story about a comeback that was filled with so much hope, so much nostalgia, and ultimately just a ton of heartbreak. This is the second fall of Nokia.
There was a time when they didn't just lead the world, they ruled it. The name Nokia wasn't just a brand, it was this universal symbol of strength, of trust, of connecting with each other.
It wasn't just a phone, right? For so many of us, it was a memory we carried around in our pockets. And then, just like that, they lost it all.
And then, against all odds, they tried to rise from the ashes, a real attempt to reclaim the throne.
But what happened next was this really painful reminder that even the greatest, most beloved legends can fade away. Twice. So let's get into how it all went so wrong.
To really understand the comeback, first, we've got to go back, way back. In the late 90s and early 2000s, Nokia wasn't just another company. No, they were the undisputed kings of mobile, period.
In their kingdom, it was massive. We're talking over 1 billion users across the globe. Their phones were legendary, reliable, practically unbreakable. It was the kind of phone you could drop, get wet, whatever, and it would still work. Get this, at their absolute peak, they were selling a phone every single second. They were innovation. But then, 2007 happened. The iPhone arrived, and with it came touchscreens, apps, a whole new ecosystem. The future just completely shifted, almost overnight.
And just like that, the king was dethroned. By 2010, Nokia was, well, they were drowning. Their Symbian operating system felt ancient compared to what Apple and Google were doing. They had all this amazing hardware, but no software soul to power it.
So in 2011, the new CEO, Stephen Elop, he used this incredible metaphor to describe their situation. He said Nokia was standing on a burning platform. Their choice? Stay and get burned, or jump into the freezing, unknown waters below.
And you know what? They jumped. Their icy water was a super bold, super risky partnership with Microsoft. The plan was to build the Windows Phone together, a fresh start, a third contender to challenge the giants, and for the first time in years, it felt like there was a real glimmer of hope.
The comeback officially kicked off in 2012 with the Lumia series, and honestly, these phones were incredible. The hardware was just stunning, sleek, colorful, beautifully designed. They had these cameras that were actually better than the iPhones, and a premium build that just felt solid in your hand. It really felt like a true rebirth.
They had found a rhythm. It honestly looked like the comeback was working. But there was a problem, a fatal one. That leap from the burning platform, it turned out they landed in water that was far colder and far emptier than anyone could have possibly imagined.
This right here shows you the core of the problem. On one hand, you had Nokia delivering this hardware masterpiece. On the other hand, the Windows Phone software was a total ghost town. The App Store was empty. No official Instagram app, no native YouTube app. All the big developers were building for iOS and Android. So, in a world now totally built on apps, Nokia's beautiful machine had absolutely nothing to run.
It just didn't matter how great the phone felt if it couldn't run the apps you used every single day. By 2014, it was clear. The dream was over. Sales just collapsed. The comeback had officially failed.
In a final, desperate move, Microsoft just bought Nokia's phone business outright for a staggering $7.2 billion. It was this last-ditch effort to force the hardware and software to finally work together. Yeah, but it didn't work. The acquisition couldn't fix that fundamental app gap problem. In just 2 years, Microsoft shut the entire division down. Thousands of people lost their jobs, the Lumia line was dead, and the Nokia name just vanished from the shelves.
So, it was over. Again. But this time was different. There was no huge collapse, no dramatic global headlines. This time, the world barely even noticed. The company that connected 1 billion people just couldn't connect to the market anymore.
And yet, somehow, Nokia refused to die completely. The brand name got licensed out to a new company, HMD Global, which started making Android phones. They tried to play on our nostalgia, but really, the magic was gone. What was supposed to be a historic comeback just faded into quiet survival.
Nokia's whole story teaches us a really brutal lesson. Their comeback didn't fail because the tech was bad. It failed because they were trying to be the old Nokia in a brand new world. And that's really the key takeaway here. Nostalgia can definitely win hearts, but it just can't win markets against a better ecosystem.
So Nokia fell, twice.
but that iconic ringtone still echoes in the memories of a billion people. It kind of reminds us of a time when a phone's greatest feature was simply connecting us. So I'll just leave you with this question. As long as that memory is alive, can a legend like Nokia ever really truly die?